everyone, and welcome to the Alzheimer's Society of Simcoe County's regular Monday Q&A Facebook Live session. I tried something new today and tried to schedule the live broadcast ahead of time. So I'm not sure if this is going to work, if it's connected, but hopefully it allowed some people to know that we were going live at noon, and maybe some more people will join us today. If you're out there and watching, if you want to let me know, maybe let me know where you're watching from. Send me an emoji so that I know that you're out there. My name is Erica Rice. I'm an education coordinator here at the Alzheimer's Society, and we have been trying to do these live broadcasts at noon every second Monday. We've been doing them since, I guess, the end of November. So this time I thought, well, in honor of Heart Month, because February is Heart Month, that I would talk about the connection between the heart and the brain. And if you watch our live broadcasts, they're all saved on our Facebook page. The broadcast that I did, I believe it was on December 14th, was talking about brain health. And one of the biggest messages for brain health is what's good for the heart is good for the brain. So when you're thinking about your heart health this month, and you're hearing about all the ways to keep your heart healthy, eating a heart-healthy diet, going out and getting some exercise, although it's really cold here in Ontario right now, but getting out for some walks or snowshoes or skiing or whatever we can do just to get our heart pumping a little bit. Maybe it is just doing some exercises around in our house. It's all very good for our heart health, making sure that we're eating a proper diet, managing our stress, and I know that's tough right now with COVID-19 and all the extra issues that we're dealing with because of that. But they're all really important for our heart health, and what's good for the heart is good for the brain. So thinking about why that is, that's what I wanted to focus today on this Facebook Live broadcast. Why is it that what's good for the heart is good for the brain? And, you know, it's interesting, there's a great website called Brain Exchange. That's brain and the letter X, change.ca. And they do lots of webinars on many different topics related to the brain, to dementia. It's a great place to go and get some extra information about many different topics. And in June 2019, they had an hour-long webinar, and the speaker, let me just make sure I get her name right, was Dr. Cheryl Wellington, and she's a researcher, and one of her areas of expertise is looking at the brain and the brain's vascular system. And so she was talking about some new research on the brain and vascular health. And it's recorded there on their website, so you can certainly go and watch it. And I'll see if I can add the link below this live video. I'm not sure how to do that, but that's good for my brain health, is learning new things. So I'll see if I can add the link to that webinar, because lots of great, interesting information about her research. But some of the key things that I pulled out from her webinar, one of the biggest ones, when you think about your brain size, your brain's about 2% of your overall body mass if you're an average sized adult. And when you think about your blood flow, so for every beat that your heart makes, your 20 to 25% of your blood flow is going to your brain, even though your brain is only 2% of your overall body mass. So your brain requires a great deal of blood flow to keep those neurons nourished and working at their best, at their optimal health. So first of all, just knowing that, like making sure that our blood is pumping to the brain the way that it should, and our vascular system is healthy and getting the blood pumping to our brain is really important, because when you think about our brain health, those neurons require a great amount of fuel to keep them working properly. And that fuel is glucose. And that glucose is carried to those neurons through our blood flow. So keeping our blood vascular system healthy is really important. As well as thinking about the oxygen that our brain needs, because what happens when we're deprived of oxygen, our brain starts to shut down. So we really need to keep those that glucose and the oxygen traveling to our brain and keep our vascular system really healthy so that it can do that for us. So she was talking about some very, I'm going to say energetic, but I'm not trying to find the word that I'm thinking of right now, but a number of years ago, there were some researchers that took a brain and very carefully carved out the vascular system within the brain. So it would take a great deal of patience to do this. And what they discovered is that complete vascular system, if you were to lay it out in a line, would cover about 400 miles. So, changing that to metric, that's about 640 kilometers worth of blood vessels. Of course, most of them are not large blood vessels. Most of them are the really small capillaries. But if you took that whole vascular system within our brain, it would cover that distance. And so just imagine how detailed that system is. What Dr. Willington was saying is that for every neuron in our brain, and our brains have billions of neurons, each neuron is tied to a vessel. So each neuron requires glucose in order to fuel it. And so it needs to be tied to a blood vessel in order to get the glucose out of the blood vessel and to fuel the work that it's doing. And then it also needs to be able to get rid of the byproduct of its chemical messaging, and it needs to get rid of that back into the blood flow. So it's a very intricate system happening. And when you think again, like there's billions of neurons within our brain, and if they all are connected to a capillary of some kind, just how much, just how intricate that vascular system is in the brain. And so when you're thinking about your heart health, you have to really think about, well, how are we keeping that vascular system healthy? So when you're thinking about your diet, of course, so if you go back to that Facebook live broadcast I did in December, and we're talking about how to keep our brain healthy, our really heart healthy diet. So making sure that we're eating lots of fruits and vegetables, that we are not eating too much salt in our diet, that we are eating lean cuts of meat or maybe fish, getting some omega-3 fats into our diet, really good for our heart health and our brain health. We want to make sure we're getting some exercise, so keep that blood flow pumping. We want to make sure that we're managing our stress properly, because that helps our vascular system. And when you think about the role of cholesterol, so they have shown that people with Alzheimer's disease do have evidence of atherosclerosis in their brain. And, that's the buildup of this cholesterol happening within the blood vessels. So we want to make sure that we're managing our cholesterol. So some of the big things that she took away in that webinar is that we need to, first of all, we need to manage our cardiovascular disease. We need to keep our cholesterol levels in check. We need to manage diabetes, because diabetes and heart health are closely connected. All of these things can help reduce the risk of getting dementia and can help decrease the incidence of dementia that's happening in our population. It could also, if somebody is living with some vascular changes in their brain that's causing some changes in ability, it can also help them manage their disease well and help reduce how quickly things change over time. So I hope that you take some of this away with you and you're thinking about, well, what can I do moving forward to keep my heart healthy and my brain healthy? And really, looking at some of the messages from the Heart and Stroke Foundation about all the things around your brain health or your heart health, you can connect those into your brain health. When you're looking at the Alzheimer's Society of Simcoe County, we do have a 4-week Heads Up for Healthier Brains series that we offer to the public. And certainly you're more than welcome to register for that and join us for these interactive sessions. We do lots of discussion around ways to manage our diet, ways to get more physical activity into our day, ways to manage our stress, and so on. So those are really good classes that we do offer. And we also have some videos on our YouTube channel, some static content on brain health messages, and a lot of them, again, are also heart health messages. So just remember that as you take this away, as you're working on your heart health, you are also working on your brain health. So I hope that inspires you a little bit more to go out and take care of your heart, because taking care of your heart will take care of your brain. If you want to join us for 2 Mondays from now, not next Monday, but the Monday after, February 22nd, I'll be back here at noon again to talk about another topic related to dementia. And if you have any ideas, if you have a question that you really want answered or a subject you would really like me to cover, I would love to hear them. Please put your comments below this video. Take those into consideration. I'm always looking for topics to talk about on these Facebook Live broadcasts. So please send them my way. And you have a great day.